2025 proved one brutal truth about the stock market. Being in the market wasn't enough. You had to be in the right stocks, because while some companies delivered jaw-dropping gains, others absolutely collapsed, even as major indexes finished the year higher. Today, we're breaking down the biggest winners and losers in the stock market, why they moved the way they did, and most importantly, what these moves tell us about where money is going next. If you want market insights that actually help you think like smart money, subscribe right now. It seriously helps the channel grow. At a headline level, 2025 looked like a strong year. The S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones all finished higher, powered by tech optimism, AI-driven investment themes, selective risk-taking from institutional investors. But underneath the surface, this was not a broad-based rally. This was a year where capital rotated aggressively into innovation away from stagnation. And that's why the gap between winners and losers became massive. Let's start with the winners, the stocks that didn't just survive 2025, they owned it. 1. AI and tech-adjacent stocks dominated. Once again, artificial intelligence was the single most powerful force in markets. But here's the key detail most people miss. It wasn't just AI companies winning. It was companies positioned around AI. That included chip makers, infrastructure providers, data center-related businesses. Companies supplying the tools AI actually needs to scale. Investors weren't chasing hype. They were chasing revenue visibility. 2. S&P 500 inclusions created massive tailwinds. Several of 2025's biggest winners surged after being added to the S&P 500. Why does that matter? Because index funds are forced buyers. Pension funds follow benchmarks. Liquidity jumps overnight. That automatic buying pressure alone can reprice a stock even before fundamentals change. This is one of the quiet but powerful forces driving market winners. 3. Turnaround stories shocked the market. Some of the year's top performers were companies written off just a year earlier. What changed? Strategic pivots. Cost restructuring, new leadership, or exposure to fast-growing sectors. 2025 rewarded adaptability more than reputation. Quick reminder, if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. These kinds of market shifts are exactly what we track on this channel. Now let's talk about the uncomfortable side of the market, because while headlines focused on index gains, many stocks were quietly getting destroyed. 1. Legacy business models got punished. Companies that failed to modernize, old-school retail, slow-moving industrials, businesses with shrinking margins, they simply couldn't compete for capital. In a year where money had options, investors chose growth and visibility over tradition. 2. Consumer shifts hit hard. Some consumer-focused stocks collapsed as spending patterns changed. Inflation pressures lingered, brand loyalty weakened. 2025 exposed how fragile demand can be when consumers start prioritizing essentials over extras. 3. Global and macro pressures made things worse. Trade tensions, supply chain risks, and currency exposure didn't disappear in 2025. They intensified volatility. Companies dependent on international manufacturing imported materials. Narrow profit margins felt the pressure immediately, and Wall Street showed zero patience. So what did 2025 really teach investors? Lesson number 1, index gains can be misleading. The market going up doesn't mean your stocks go up. Stock selection mattered more than ever. Lesson number 2, adaptation beats history. Brand names and past success didn't protect anyone. Only relevance did. Lesson number 3, capital follows visibility. Revenue clarity, future demand, and strategic positioning mattered more than hype. Looking ahead, here's what 2025 sets up for 2026. AI remains a dominant force, but valuations will matter more. Expect rotation, not blind rallies. Be careful chasing last year's winners without fundamentals. Watch beaten down names that are actually fixing problems. The next market leaders are likely being built right now, quietly. To wrap this up, 2025 wasn't just about gains or losses, it was about direction. And the investors who understood that didn't just survive, they positioned themselves for what's next. If you want more market breakdowns like this, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment with the stock you think could surprise everyone in 2026, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.